Welcome to Reason Workshop, Class 9, Basic Rhythm Skills. We're focusing on your ability to play rhythm and understand time. Starting out with A, sticks and lines, keyboard playing. B, we'll go through time notation, note durations and measures. C, reading rhythms. D, drum programming. And then E, we'll have a test. One thing we'll do is just set the time signature to 1/4 so that it won't have any accents, and then set the tempo down to 90 so that it's a nice, even, slower tempo, and then turn the click on. Now let's go find a good patch to play along with. We'll go into Create Instrument, and then Reason Factory Sound Bank into All Instrument Patches, then into the Organ folder, and then let's pick Electronic Organ. So now all the notes that we're going to play here are going to be C3. So the lowest key on a 61 key keyboard is C1. Now if you just look at the order of white and black keys, if you don't have any understanding of pitch, that you can see there's 2 black keys and then 3 black keys, and then to the left of that 2, that note right there, that is C3. Okay, so that's the note that we're going to play for most of this lesson. So with sticks and lines playing, what that means is that when you see these sticks go by, that's your click track. And you're going to hold down a note for the duration of that line. So let's try A here, and we'll do a pre-count of 4. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, off. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, off. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. Let's go on to B. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, let's go on to C now. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, off. 2, 1, 2, off. 2, 1, 2, off. 2, 1, 2, off. 2, 1, 2, off. 2. Now moving on to D. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 2, 1, 2, off. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 2, 1, 2, off. 2. And let's go to E. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 1, 2, off. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 1, 2, off. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, moving down to F. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, off. 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 1, 2. Moving on to G. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, off. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Off. 1, 2, off. 1, 2, off. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. And finally moving to H. 1, 2, ready, go. Off. 1, 2, off, off, off. 1, 2, off. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. 1, 2. Good. Now let's go into notation. The rhythms and the different lengths of notes in the preceding exercises can be represented by notes. So this is called a whole note. It corresponds with the tones whose duration was 4 claps or taps. This is called a half note. It's a duration of 2 beats. The dash is called a stem. Up stems are attached to the right side of the note head, down stems to the left. Then you have a quarter note, which gets 1 beat. So the length of time that a note is played is called its note duration, which is determined by the type of note. The whole note has the longest note duration in modern music. The half note has half the duration of a whole note. 2 half notes occupy the same amount of time as 1 whole note. The quarter note is a fourth or quarter of a whole note. 4 quarter notes occupy the same amount of time as 1 whole note. 2 quarter notes equal the duration of a half note. Notes smaller than a quarter note have a flag. Each flag have the value of a note. So an eighth note has 1 flag. Therefore, 2 eighth notes occupy the same amount of time as 1 quarter note. A 16th note has 2 flags, having the value again. 2 16th notes equal the duration of an eighth note, and 4 16th notes equal the value of a quarter note. And although it's possible to have 3 or more flags, they're seldomly used. So here's the entire relationship of all 5 note values that we discussed in this lesson. So now for bar lines and measures. So vertical black bars called bar lines divide the staff into measures. So this staff has been split into 2 measures. Time signatures define the amount and type of note that each measure contains. The first measure is in 4/4 time, and the second measure is in 3/4 time. 4/4 is called common time, and back to our rhythm tree here, a whole note lasts for a whole measure of common time, or 4/4. A half note lasts for half of a measure, a quarter note lasts for a quarter of a measure, eighth note lasts for an eighth of a measure, and a 16th lasts for a 16th of a measure of 4/4. Let's go over some basic reading rhythms now. All of these are in 4/4 common time, so I'd like you to play along with all of these using your C3 key again. So we're going to start with example 1. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. Let's go on to example 2. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's move on to example 3. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, moving down to example 4. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving on to example 5. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Alright, example 6. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, moving on to example 7. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Last one, example 8. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next let's apply that to actual programming drums. Basic drum beats here, 6 beats total, and these are going to be hi-hats. Everything on that top space of the staff, anything on the space below that, those are all snares. And then all of those notes that occupy F on the staff, those are all kick drums. So go to the Create menu and create a redrum. And we're just going to press the down arrow on bank so that we have a hip-hop kit. And we'll use drum module 1 for our kick drum, and drum module 7 for our snare, and then drum module 8 for our hi-hat. And we'll just program them all just on the step sequencer here. And as you can see, that the resolution is set to 16th notes. So that means each one of those pads is a 16th note. Above those pads, there's shadowed boxes that show you the beat separation. Now, if we select the hi-hat, which is drum module 8, we'll put that on every beat. And if you hit run, you'll hear it clearly in time. That's exactly what is written on our standard notation. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's put the snares in. You can see the snares line up exactly on the second and fourth beat within this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. The kicks are lined up with the hi-hat on 1 and 3. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Look back at our standard notation, follow along. That's our first drum beat. Just super basic. But let's copy it to track so it shows up down here on the sequencer. Okay, we'll move the left and right. The pattern will go wherever your left and right are positioned. So now with pattern 2, we just put the kick to be on all fours. Let's copy that pattern to track now. Now for beat 3, we are playing hi-hats as 8th note patterns. All we're going to do is go back to drum module 8 and put that on all odd numbers. We might want to adjust the tone a little bit. And we'll copy it to track and move the left and right over. Okay, now let's move on to drum beat 4. So this is similar to the first beat. You still have the kick on 1 and 3 and the snare on 2 and 4. Now the hi-hat's just on off beats. Now copy the pattern to track. That's beat 4. And let's move on to beat 5. So the hi-hats are still 8th notes, so we can go back to putting them all in odd numbers and select kick pattern 1. And you can see where they line up, that you have those first 2 kicks right with the hi-hat, then you have a break, and then you have 2 more kicks. All right, let's copy that to the track. And finally, let's move left and right over and program the last beat. Hi-hats are the same, snares are the same. So this time the kicks are a little bit different. So the pattern is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. 3, and so let's copy the pattern to track. Turn off enable pattern section playback. And now let's listen to the whole thing.